Calvary kids, hope everybody's having a great week so far. If you're still out of school, hope you're enjoying that time off. Hope you're not going crazy yet. Hope you're not driving your parents crazy yet. But again, we couldn't meet here at the church today, so wanted to bring you guys Children's Church online so that we can continue to learn about God, we can continue to learn how much Jesus loves us, and we continue to learn new and great things every week. So, last week, remember we talked about a story that Jesus told that was about a younger son who made a lot of different mistakes. And there was another brother, though. If there's a younger son, there's got to be an older son. Today we're going to talk about the older son. But before we get into that, I want to ask you guys something. I want you guys to think about something. What is something that just makes you really mad? Is there what is it that just if somebody did this or if this happened, this would make you just really, really mad? Yeah, think about it for a minute. What are some things that make you really mad? Maybe it's, I don't know, I have a little sister, and I know my little sister could annoy me when I was younger, and she would just make me mad because she would always want to play with me and my friends. So me and my friends would be off doing whatever. We'd be playing baseball in the backyard. We'd be playing Super Smash Brothers, and she always would want to play with us. And there were times that it would just be annoying. I'm just trying to hang out with my friends, and I would just get mad at her. But maybe it's something else. Maybe there's something else that just drives you guys crazy, that makes you mad when you think about it. We're going to talk about someone who got really mad today because that older brother in the story that Jesus told, he got really mad at his younger brother. Now, let's talk about that story for a minute. Remember, Jesus is telling this story to a bunch of people, different types of people. There are tax collectors, there are fishermen, there are religious people there, all listening to Jesus. And the religious people were upset because they didn't understand why Jesus wanted to talk to all these low-life people who had made mistakes, who had done things wrong. They were the good people. The religious people, they were the good people. They did everything that God asked them to do, but they didn't understand why Jesus was wasting his time with all these people that have made mistakes, have done things wrong. They didn't understand. And so Jesus tried to tell them, look, I have come so that these people that have made mistakes, and let's be honest, we've all made mistakes. Even the religious people, they had made mistakes. I have come because I want to forgive all of these people that have made mistakes. Every last one of them. And so the religious people, they just weren't understanding. So Jesus told them a story about a man who had two sons. And remember, the younger son said to his dad, Dad, I want half of your money. And his dad split up his money between his two sons, gave his younger son a bunch of money. The younger son moved out of the house, moved to a different country, started spending all of his money on houses, on clothes, on whatever, until all the money was gone. Then when he had nothing left, he had to get a job working for a pig farmer. He was so hungry that he thought about eating the food that the pigs eat. And he finally realized, look, this is ridiculous. My dad has people at home that work for him, that have food. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go home to my dad. I'm going to tell him that I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Dad, take me back as one of your workers, and that'll be it. I know I'm not good enough to be your son. But when he came home, his dad was so excited to see him. He ran to him. He hugged him. He got him all cleaned up, had clothes brought for him, and then he threw him this gigantic party because he was so happy that his son had come home. Now, what about the older brother, though? So this story is still found in Luke chapter 15, and the part about the older brother picks up in verse 25. Now his older son was in the field, and as he came and drew near to the house, he heard music and dancing. So he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. So the older brother's been working all day, outside, probably in the hot, doing probably farm work. So he's hot, he's tired, he's come home after doing a hard day's work for his dad, and he gets near the house, he hears music and sees people dancing. He sees these big parties going on. He's like, what in the world is this? What's going on? And so he asks one of the servants, what is going on here? The servant tells him, guess what? Your little brother's come home. Your little brother's come home, and your dad has thrown this big party for him. Now, how do you think the older brother reacted to all this? Do you think he was excited that his little brother had come home? Or do you think he was mad at him? Do you think he was upset by all this? Jesus tells us this older brother was so mad that he wouldn't even come in the house. He was basically just sitting outside, just mad. He was mad that his brother had come home after what he did, after basically telling Dad he wished he was dead, after taking half of the money and moving out and going away. He was mad at his little brother. And his dad kept asking him, son, come in, join the party. And he just refused. He said, I am not going inside. I am not going in there. So his dad finally came outside and sat outside with him. He says, son, why are you so mad? What are you upset about? The older brother was like, Dad, I've worked for you for how many years? I've done everything you've asked me to do. I've been a good son. I've listened to you. I've obeyed what you've asked me to do. Even when you split up your money, I took the money, but I stayed with you. I did everything I was supposed to do. But when my little brother here takes all your money and just wastes it, he brought nothing back with him. It's all gone. He comes back home, and you throw a party for him. You've never thrown this big of a party for me. You've never even given me a little party to have with my friends. And, Dad, why do you think I'm mad? This isn't fair. His dad understood. He said, son, please. Everything I have is yours. We'll always be together. The dad wasn't trying to excuse what the son had done. But he said, it is still good for us to celebrate. We need to be happy because your brother was lost. He was gone. I thought I would never see him again. But now he's back. He's found. He's safe. He's okay. He was basically dead. He was out there feeding pigs, starving to death. But he's alive. And he's here with us where we can take care of him. It is a good thing for us to celebrate that. Now, here's the thing that Jesus wanted us to understand. And even though when we make mistakes, there are consequences to those mistakes. This younger son made a lot of mistakes. And he had to face some pretty real consequences. He had to almost eat pig food. But Jesus still loved him. Jesus still loves us even when we make mistakes. And he wants to forgive us. And he wants us to forgive other people. So I want you to do something for a minute. Think of somebody, maybe in your life, that's just made you mad recently. Somebody you're upset with. Maybe you were upset with. Maybe it's mom, dad, brother, sister. Maybe it's someone at school, like a bully, maybe a teacher, someone who's just made you mad recently. Here's the thing. Jesus wants you to forgive them. Jesus wants you to not hold on to that anger anymore. Whether they deserve it or not, whether they ask for it or not, Jesus wants you to forgive them and just let go of that anger. Say, you know what? I'm not going to be mad at that person anymore. I'm going to forgive them. Not saying what they did was right, but just not holding on to the anger anymore. And that's what this father wanted for the older son. He just wanted the older son to forgive his brother, to not be angry at him. Be angry at what happened, but don't be angry at him. Be happy at the fact that he is back. And he did ask for forgiveness. And they can be a family again. That's what Jesus wanted the religious people to understand, is that all these people that had made mistakes, they wanted to come back and do what was right and be followers of Jesus. And the religious people should have been excited for that. In the same way, when somebody makes a mistake, when somebody does something wrong, but they ask for forgiveness, Jesus wants us to be excited about that. Because they're coming back to Jesus. They're doing the right thing now. So again, I want to remind you, there's somebody in your life, maybe that's made you mad recently, or you've had a lot of anger. Just let go of that anger. Just forgive them. Tell them you've forgiven them. If you need to talk about anything, you can always come to me, to Pastor Jeff, talk to your mom, talk to your dad about it. We're always here for you guys, and we love you guys. Before we go, we're going to do our verse for the month. It's found in Colossians 3:13, so I want everybody to read along with me with this verse. We'll do it a couple times here. It's a longer verse, but we can get through it together. So on three, I want everybody to read this verse with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Accepting one another and forgiving one another if anyone has a complaint against another. Just as the Lord has forgiven you, so you must also forgive. Colossians 3:13. That's basically saying that if anybody has ever done anything against you, you need to forgive them. The same way that Jesus forgives us when we make a mistake. All right, so let's read that again. One more time. On three. 1, 2, 3. Accepting one another and forgiving one another if anyone has a complaint against another. Just as the Lord has forgiven you, so you must also forgive. Colossians 3:13. All right, hopefully we'll be back in church next week. But if not, then I'll see you online. Hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time.